Oh, what is up, you beautiful people? Welcome to My Ninja Gaming. My name is Curtis Russell, and I'm accompanied by my man.
Your boy, Sir Mackleton, Fauntleroy the Third,
Yes, sir.
Esquire, man.
Oh, yes. And man, we're in a situation we usually aren't in. We're in a midweek podcast, yo.
Yeah, this is rare. This is my first one. Trying to get me through the work week.
Exactly. I think that's what, we need to stress is like we're trying to get people through the work week when it comes to this midweek podcast. We do our podcast on Sunday and you work for
Yeah.
2 days and you need something to look forward to. So it's like, all right, I can look forward to the midweek podcast. I guess this is just a pilot. We're not sure if we're going to do this every week or when we're going to do this, but should we do this every week, Mac?
You know what? It's so much going on. It's possible. I feel like we could.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't have anything really to put out there, it could still be a thing. Just because we got so much to talk about.
Right. TC Ren already in the comments. He's like, broski, start the stream. Hey, man, we had to get everything out. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if the stream's running good. I'm having some issues just on my Wi-Fi, but the stream says it's healthy. So just let me know that you guys are able to see us. But yeah, man, the main reason why, man, started this stream today is because, I haven't had a lot of time to edit any of the My Ninja content. So I've been doing a lot of like the Seoul Dojo stuff. If you guys haven't checked out my channel, make sure you guys go ahead and check out that channel. It's a great channel. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to take initiative. We're going to jump into a stream, just kind of catch you guys off guard. And it should be about 25-30 minutes, depending on how long me and Mackleton here want to go through it. But make sure you guys get in the comments for a Q&A also. We're going to be taking you guys' questions. Make sure you guys get all up in there. Looking good, light-skinned Jesus. TC crazy.
Oh man, TC. We gotta get him on the show, man. He pretty faithful, man.
Yeah, and
have to get him on the show,
in this upcoming one, it's pretty promising. If we don't have Trevor, because Trev is like he talking about heading out on Sunday, so we might not have him. But Mac, what is the most? There was some news that came out today. I don't know if you heard it yet, but this news came out like a few hours ago, and I actually picked up on it. Now, when I tell you this is actually going to be pretty funny. So Ubisoft apologizes for forcing characters into a straight relationship on the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey expansion.
What?
Yeah. Have you heard about the new expansion?
I heard about the expansion. I have not heard about that though. Like I knew the expansion was coming. Is it here? It's here already, right?
Yeah, it's here. It's like called Shadow Heritage or something.
Okay, I might have to put that out there and get some of that going.
So they're apologizing for forcing players into a straight relationship. That's kind of weird to me. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like, are they apologizing for not having the option to go not straight? Is that what that is?
I think so. And it's still, even if like, yeah, that's it. I think when I was reading it, that's basically it. It doesn't make sense to me because like I feel like it's a character thing, right? Like if Alexios in this new expansion is supposed to love a woman for the sake of the story, he's going to love a woman. I don't think, and there's no outrage. I don't think there's no outrage about it. I mean, there might be a minority, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Nobody can doing his dirt because he did his dirt.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't see the problem with this. I mean, that's like complaining about it in Grand Theft, and just in other games in general. It's not a big deal, honestly, unless they, like you said, somebody personal has something to say about it.
In this climate we live with people getting upset at things like that, I guess Ubisoft is just here basically covering their own ass. I think so with this kind of news. I thought it was really weird with this news. Like I was like, who? What happened?
Oh God, that's crazy. Like I don't feel like that was nothing to apologize about. Like, But
Yeah.
like you said, they're covering their bases,
Mm-hmm.
and and if you look at it from a business perspective, it is quite understandable.
It really is. You just want to make sure you're not, just in case. But I'm pretty sure there was a minority of people like, hey, why can't we like be gay in Assassin's Creed Odyssey? That's like so like against gay people.
Yeah,
And it's
like
like here, you know, my ninja, we're all about everybody. Don't get me wrong, but it's like we just don't understand that. Well, we understand that they're covering their bases. They're covering their footsteps. They're like, hey, I know we're sorry about that, but we had to make it a certain way for the story or whatever like that. So that's just some small news. There's a lot of news that's been coming out, even though we are midweek throughout the week right now, and it's kind of crazy. But the biggest thing we're gonna tackle right now is EA cancels another Star Wars game. Mac, I don't really know how hyped you were for like not the Fallen Order game, but the EA Vancouver's Star Wars game.
now was this the EA Vancouver? They had the open world game, right?
So they had an open world Star Wars game that they were making. You could be either a scoundrel or a bounty hunter, and you can go around to different planets. It was almost it kind of, to me, every time I hear that, I hear not Assassin's Creed. I hear Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. That's what it
And I'm
seems
not
like.
too familiar with Mass Effect, but that does sound somewhere up the alley. I mean, my whole thing was, I'm not a giant Star Wars fan, but I do admire the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
That is my thing with Star Wars. Can I have a lightsaber? Can I be a Jedi? My own Jedi, not like, one of the Jedis that's already a Jedi. Can I
Yeah.
create my own?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that would be the case with this one. And now that they're canceling it, my hopes and dreams just went up in smoke.
Before we got on the podcast, I did talk about, like, I was like, man, EA has been quiet, and it's like it's just a matter of time before something happens. And I don't know. You see my video? I kind of came at it in a direction where I was just like, the train is passing them by when it comes to the license that Disney and EA have kind of set up with the Star Wars license. If you're gonna,
Yeah.
I think they're going the wrong way about downsizing the game and then just trying to throw it out into our mouths and just get whatever money they can get. Because if the license itself is 10 years long and it's going to end in 2023 because it started in 2013, wouldn't you kind of think that they're running out of time now? I mean, 2023 isn't too far.
Not at all. I mean, we just touched down into a new year, and I swear to God, 2018 was yesterday, and here we are already. January already, damn near towards the end of January. So we already pretty much to the first month. I'm sorry, of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you how fast time goes. So I don't know what the hell they got going on, but they need to make a move real quick. I mean, all jokes aside, they can be a good company if they quit with the pettiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the scariest thing that I try to tell myself when I sit here and I think about this situation is like, I think it's too late at this point to make a very, very serious Star Wars game. I mean, besides like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order that we're hearing that we're going to get, apparently that game's been in the production and we're probably going to get that later this year. But to make, like, what game development is like 4 years. Red Dead Redemption actually took 8, but I mean 4 years is a good time to get your game out. And it's like, if you were going to make a really, really good game for Star Wars, you're going to have to start it now or basically yesterday. And
Right.
like Trevor said on Facebook, like, they said they're gonna downgrade it and try to get it out quick. So do you think we're gonna see a mobile game out of this?
Oh God, man, I don't even want to think about. Like, I read that and my stomach kind of turned. I was like, look, this is not. We don't need a mobile game. We really don't need. I don't know what it is. Like, I understand, there are mobile gamers out there, but not for what we're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, put the less important stuff there. I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. I just hope it's not. I just hope it's not a mobile game. But I can't help but wonder if it's a mobile game myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm crying on the inside about it because it's like, God damn it, yeah. I'm like you. I'm gonna throw a pillow and punch a baby and flip a table, man. Like, get it the fuck together already.
I want to stress that no babies have been hurt during any My Ninja any My Ninja
At
streams
all.
or videos.
Ever. Not even a little bit.
Probably mentioned, but TC Ren said that game was gonna probably be fire. I think he's right. Like, that game was probably gonna be pretty awesome. But of course, EA thinks that what was going on is Electronic Arts thought that the game was going to take too long. They didn't want to wait long for that game, so they wanted to just go with the less quality, more over quantity option. They wanted to get more Star Wars games out. And of course, we've heard a lot of rumors of like Disney kind of in EA's ear, like, hey, like, we don't like what you're doing with this license right now. And then EA's coming out like, no, we have a great relationship. It's like, oh my goodness.
It was like, so you just think we don't read this, bro? Like,
Yeah.
you are EA. I mean, we kind of pay attention to you and your fuck ups. So, you ain't got no good thing going right. See that? Like, I don't know what is going on with them cats, man. Like, but I feel like they're losing. Well, to be honest, I feel like they lost touch a long time ago, and maybe they didn't lose touch. Maybe they just got. And maybe that's what happened. And I almost feel like that's kind of what's taking over now. Oh, well, let's put out these 5 games, or do you however games games they want to put out. But what's the point of you putting out 5 games when only one's going to be decent and only halfway, if that?
Yeah, that is true. And I think the whole EA camp, Electronic Arts' whole camp, is getting affected by by the Star Wars license, I should say, because we talked about today on Facebook about the fight night, and like I was trying to explain is like everybody, if you were not working on Battlefield, Anthem, or Sims in EA's camp, you're working on a Star Wars game. And EA Vancouver is who made Fight Night, and look what they were making, and now they got canceled, and now they're back on a brand new one that's smaller. Before that, they were working on like FIFA and Ultimate Team, like brush up stuff, like really petty grunt work. So it's like these guys, they don't care about a lot of, like right now, like I said, Dead Space, I love Dead Space, but they're not working on Dead Space. There's no Dead Space anything right now. So there's a lot, even Mass Effect is kind of pushed out the way. So there's a lot of series that are kind of being affected by, by the Star Wars license and all that stuff like that. So it's ridiculous. How long would it take then?
You said what?
TC Ren said, look how long it took for them to make Madden better. Right now, I really don't know what's going on with Madden. I just know the overall premise of like the Ultimate Team. They make a lot of money off of Ultimate Team on Madden. I think Activision and EA combined have a growth of like $79 billion when it comes to, and most of it is microtransactions.
Yes, yes, that's highly believable. I mean, all this money y'all making, we ain't seeing like, where are the fruits? Like, we're not seeing none of that. And the fact that they're wanting to put out quantity over quality means that they're spending less money. They're honestly getting really cheap, and eventually it's going to bite them in the butt. Like, you can only microtransaction a game for so long. If the game is not good, you won't get microtransaction money.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
So I feel like they need a real like life lesson, because their sports games is the only thing that's really holding them right now. Everything else has kind of been a flop for EA.
Yeah, like Battlefield 5, and I mean we're not far out from Anthem right now, and I'm really excited to see how that turns out for them. And hopefully the Star Wars license, hopefully they do something with maybe the smaller Star Wars game, but I really have all my chips into Respawn's The Fallen Order. Hopefully we get a Titanfall 3 from them and a Fallen Order game. That would be great. And hopefully it's good, like running around with your friends as a Jedi. Like, hopefully that's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, I really hope it's, I hope it's everything that we expect it to be, because if it's not, someone's baby may be harmed. And, I ain't gonna say no names, but it might be the nearest one. So let's hope for that baby's sake that it's perfect.
Yeah. TC Ren said when Madden first came out, how had a whole bunch of glitches. It glitches out of his world. Yeah, that's probably them
Still
just
does.
forcing games out. I mean, so quickly. It's
Yeah.
just EA. That's just basic EA. What would you want from this Star Wars game though?
In my opinion, or are you talking to me or TC?
Now you.
Okay, so for me, number one, I just want I want to be able to customize. If we're going to play as a scoundrel or what was it, a bounty hunter?
No,
I
not
want to
not in
be
not in that game. In the Star Wars Fallen Order game, the Jedi RPG MMO. Is that safe to call it right now? Like it's gonna be like
yeah.
this is a bad comparison. Don't think of it straight on. Like it's gonna be like Destiny, but Jedi's. Like that's what I'm thinking, but
And
hopefully better.
okay, you're asking me what am I expecting from it as far as what the
Yeah,
game itself should look and play.
yeah.
Um,
I'm expecting to be with the what the hell do they call it? You just called it. Well, what do they use in freaking Star Wars? I am drawing a blank right now.
lightsabers.
Lightsabers. There you go. I'm gonna have a lightsaber with a poncho on.
Yes, ponchos are acceptable in any and every. Okay, this is a law
Yeah,
written down somewhere in somebody's Bible.
and a cowboy hat.
So yes, and
Red
if
Dead
not a
Death Star
cowboy
2.
hat, yes. If not that, let me get one of them real cool Jedi cloaks.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, with the hood up where you can't see my face, my whole face be black. Even when the light shine on it, my face be black because can't nobody see through my force powers.
that'd be
But
nice.
let me see. I would expect pretty much what you're saying. Give us the ability to go first or third person and actually let first person be a thing. Let it be viable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if people just want to swing their lightsabers and that's all they want to see, that's fine. I don't see why the hell you want to do that if you can customize your character. But hey, to each his own. I would like for us to have races. Those races have like racial bonuses.
Yeah.
Just everything, man. Give
Mm-hmm.
us as much as they possibly can with that $79 billion that y'all sitting on the back of. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Allow us to play races. Allow us to be a certain kind of Jedi. You know, let us have specific force powers. If we want to kind of go rogue, give us that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, powerhouse, give us that. If we want to kind of play like Star Killer, give us that. Something almost Technomancer like. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Technomancer game, but it was kind of one of the same. Let us dual wield lightsabers.
Yeah.
Let us choose our colors. Things like just little quality of life things. Let us have stuff like that because
Mm-hmm.
that can make or break a game really, really easy.
They would kind of know what to do with all that stuff anyway. I mean, the Star Wars The Old Republic is like an MMO game that you can choose like what class you want to be. You can be a Jedi, you can be a Sith Lord. I'm playing that right now on PC. It's pretty decent. It's probably one of the better Star Wars games from EA and BioWare, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, basically like you're saying, race, like let us have all that. Definitely the dual wielding thing is kind of cool because it's kind of like what didn't they have that on Star Wars The Force Unleashed? Lucas Arts
Yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, that was pretty sweet stuff, pretty cool stuff. So yeah, make sure you guys just stay close to the Fallen Order Respawn games. If you guys played Respawn Entertainment, if you guys have played like games like Titanfall 2, you would kind of know what they're about. They are really about multiplayer games, so we are all kind of assuming that it's going to be a Star Wars multiplayer game. So let's move on to our next topic. Bungie or Activision. So TC Ren, yeah, EA's just basically walking around mind screwing people. Well, I mean, they walk around doing a lot, and that is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've thought about this a lot. My homeboy Jay, who was gonna be on the show with me, but he thinks, I think he kind of thinks it's both, but ultimately we're gonna find out exactly who was behind how bad Destiny has kind of gotten, or some people now say it's better, but like the whole premise of like Destiny is it hasn't been always great, right? So like we're trying to figure out like is it Activision giving them corporate decisions, making corporate decisions and kind of limiting Bungie, or is Activision kind of limited in, and Bungie's not really trying? So like we're gonna kind of ultimately we're gonna figure that out within the next Destiny, and probably the next game from Bungie. We'll figure that out basically within due time. Overall, Mac, who do you think really it is? Is it Activision or Bungie?
Ultimately, just based off of what we've read, what we've talked about, I would have to roll with putting the blame on Activision, just because of how bad they've been doing lately. Bungie, I feel like I don't feel like it's all on Activision, but I feel like Activision had a lot to do with how far Destiny is falling from a corporate standpoint.
Yeah.
I feel like Bungie just, unfortunately, with them having to kind of sit there with their rights, I feel like Bungie was kind of that kid on outside the fence watching all his peoples play basketball, but he was too short, so nobody picked him up, kind of thing. And he might have been a last resort because there was nothing he could do about it. But I feel like that's why I feel like this whole thing with Bungie getting the rights is such a huge deal, because I don't feel like Activision really could have made as many things as they did with Destiny without Bungie kind of being there. I don't feel like Activision made the game. I feel like Bungie did that, but I do feel like Activision definitely broke it.
Yeah, I hear that. I think I basically agree with you. I think Activision is the main cause, and the reason why I say that is because Activision has too much input. That is absolutely right. And well, that's what TC Rand said, but yeah, he's absolutely right. And Activision, if you look at what they've done with Diablo, and what they've done with Tony Hawk, what they've done even with the little thing that I was going on about this summer over Spyro, it's those little stuff. It's the little stuff. Like that was look, that was everything plus the Spyro thing. Like that was just leading up to the Spyro thing. It's like, oh my god, they keep doing this, and this on Spyro. How'd you mess up Spyro anyway? But
right.
yeah,
How'd you mess up a remake?
How'd you mess up a remake? But apparently people enjoyed it. I bet you the remake was great. I didn't play it because I'm not giving Activision money. But it's like They have Call of Duty, they have Destiny, and they have Diablo, and it's like they all kind of messed that up in some way. Of course, we've seen the the out of season April Fool's joke stuff, and we've seen the do you guys not have cell phones?
I was just about to ask you, what's the matter? You don't have a phone?
Yeah.
You don't agree with what they did?
You don't have a phone? Yeah. I don't use it to play games. I have a $800 PC for that. Like,
right. I got I'm looking at 3 consoles right now. But that's what I play my games on. Damn it, not my phone.
Right. Exactly. And it's like Activision just wanted to make something. I bet you it takes literally a year and a half to make a mobile game. So that's why they wanted to push that out as quick as they can. So ultimately, I think it's really a lot of it is on Anthem on Activision, and another reason why is because I feel like Bungie, like they've always had a rocky relationship between each other, right? So it's like they just kind of had to report back and like, yo, we're doing this and this. Oh well, make sure Destiny's ready for next year. Well, we've only been working on it for like 2-3 years. Like, you want it done next year? So apparently we were supposed to be getting Destiny 3 next year, and it's like that wouldn't have been good enough. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no way that would have been good enough
at all. Like Destiny 3 next year, I would expect them to do another expansion on Destiny 2 before that happens. Because despite what people thought about Forsaken going from being bought to being free, I'm also hearing from players that it's also the best that Destiny 2 has currently been in as far as like this expansion goes, because it's kind of it's pointing towards the hardcore in-game people. So I feel like they kind of whatever it was. Again, I don't feel like Activision had a lot to do with this one, with that expansion, just because of how well it turned out. So
you think that they just kind of like started parting ways already, and Bungie was like, yo, we'll just take over it from here and figure out something.
Yeah, because if you think about some of the things, like number one, the name Forsaken. I mean, I don't know. I might be reaching with this one actually, but I feel like with a name like that, and I don't really know the Destiny story, so maybe it's completely necessary.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could come up with a lot of different names for an expansion, and like I feel like that might have been it. As far as that's the final straw. between the two. So I don't see. I do feel like Destiny 3 needs to happen now more than ever, just for Bungie to kind of prove their mettle now that they have the rights to kind of show everybody, look, this is what we can do without the corporate. So I don't think it should come out yet, but I feel like Destiny 3 needs to happen more so ever than anything. And then it would also give Xbox players something good, I guess, in a sense, and kind of give Gears a competition, because really, honestly, who competing with Gears other than like, you know, on Xbox, other than what, COD, like,
oh,
you know,
like in a third person shooter aspect,
yeah,
or
and
in
COD
just
ain't
an
even got that.
FPS, yeah. On Xbox wise, yeah, probably just that, definitely just that. TC Ren said they dropped the ball so hard on Tony Hawk. They really did. They was tripping on Tony Hawk. Now I completely agree with what you're saying, Mac, because they need to I think they need, with Destiny 3, they need to restart. They need to restart and focus on the lore and the story of Destiny, because it's a little bit deeper than a lot of people think it is. They need to get more depth into the game. They need to make sure there's enough content in the game at the start, because really Destiny is actually the OG of what Anthem is trying to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It started the share world shooter. Like it was something we never seen before, even though it was so dry, and we realized how dry it was. But it's something that started, something that we see now with like Division and Ghost Recon Wildlands and stuff like that. So, but I think that, and I also think that Destiny 3 needs to come after this new game. And I think we talked about this on the last podcast, is that Bungie needs to kind of start working on that new NetEase. You know, NetEase gave them like $100 million to make a new game. So it's like, focus on that, make something awesome, get people back on the side of Bungie. Make them realize, oh my God, these are the people that made Halo. You guys we forgot. You guys were legendary. We completely forgot. We completely forgot.
Right.
Make it seem like there's no question that it was all Activision's fault, and then restart brand new Destiny a couple years later and make it happen. I think that would be absolutely great. So when it comes to Destiny 3, what are the main points to you that they need to hit, and that they need to develop, and that they need to improve on Destiny 3 to get your purchase and to get people on the side of Bungie?
For me, like if like, you would really have to make an amazing fucking shooter for me to be on board. So I guess for me, first of all, I need third person. I feel like I'm
You're a
probably the only person
FPS guy though.
Yeah. So I feel like if you're going to get my vote number one, get that, because Destiny is already honestly a sold game for me, just because it's not some basic, you know, state of the military shooter game. So the fact that it's more of a science style game, where it's MMO based and
sci-fi,
things
that's
like
the
that.
word.
And I being a lover of science, that already appeals to me. The whole game has always appealed to me. But when I pull out the gun and you tell me I can customize my character and I can't see it, that bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So if they give me third person, they give me good multiplayer, they give me good working classes, you know, give me good quality of life things, it's pretty much the same thing as I would expect with Star Wars. Give me give me what you're telling me this is, and make it a good thing. I'm not asking for much. Just make it good and consistent. Give it, you know, when I get to end game, give me something that is so entertaining that I can keep coming back. Just keep me coming back, basically. I think that's what everybody wants. Replay value.
Who does that? Who does that right? What game does that right?
Call of Duty does it right.
Call of Duty does it.
Call of Duty does it right. Diablo does it right. Final Fantasy 14 online does it right.
Skyrim does it right without even
Skyrim does it right. And it's not even multiplayer, and Skyrim does it right. So it wouldn't I would just say take advantage of, because they have a cult following. Bungie will always have a cult following.
And Destiny has one of the biggest communities right now.
Yes.
Destiny itself.
I mean, if you can, and this is probably ridiculous of me to say, but they may, who knows? Because if we're talking Destiny 3, it may not even be a necessity. But if they want to, if they feel like they should, give us a battle royale mode, not not a fucking,
Game.
not just that. Yeah, don't give us a fucking game. Give it an option. I think we both agreed that as far as battle royales go, option wise, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's just based on a whole game, that's where you start losing, or does it? Because Fortnite is clearly saying otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's right.
I feel like it should definitely be a mode at this point, and maybe a few games. Just do things like that, man, and kind of put your own spin on it.
Right.
And I don't feel like they can go wrong, honestly. Not from that standpoint.
I completely agree with like trying to make sure you put your own spin on it, because I mean, yeah, maybe people are getting tired of battle royale, but I think Red Dead Redemption's, even though there is some kinks in the hose there, I mean, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And people need to realize H1Z1 is like the originator of this mug anyway, and it's like when you look at that, every game is probably gonna end up having one at some point because it's so popular. But as long as you make it different and make it unique to the game, and I think that's really, really big. It has to be unique to that game.
Right. And they can't, it would be really hard for them to not make this, their own thing. Because like I said, the game is already scientific, like from a look and feel scientific standpoint, it already has that. So the fact that you tell me as a battle royale mode in this high sci-fi galaxy, wherever we going type of thing, I'm already sold because I like the look of these things. I'm not, running around on some planetary grassy land trying to kill people in some old abandoned cribs. Give me, like, you telling me that I'm out here in, bored country playing Star Trek, and I'm sold just at whatever they got to throw at me from a scientific standpoint.
Right.
So they really already kind of are at a disadvantage with the way things work as far as that goes.
Yeah. Damn. Destiny and I mean, we can go on like all day about this because this is a game that I think we care about it, even though we're not playing it. I think, Mac, really, out of everybody that is in the group, in the My Ninja group, me and you really are the ones that really play almost basically the same games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We jump from game to game all the time. Let me read out some of these comments. I just realized. I think Anthem is gonna put the hearts back into people. Ran crazy.
Yeah. What hearts? It's gonna turn people into heart.
Tashelle said, I doubt they're gonna do that. I doubt that could happen, Ren. Hey Tashelle, I followed your little drawing Instagram. I didn't know you're drawing stuff. I might have to get you to draw a little character of me for the dojo, and I'm gonna swing you some money or something like that. But what's up, girl?
See that legit? Okay,
yeah. I looked at some of the stuff. It's really legit stuff. But yeah, you must have just got off of work, Tashelle. You always supporting. That's what's up. And TC's been up in here, of course. There was something else I wanted to ask you about Destiny. I forgot. I completely forgot. That was a big old brain fart. Like I was like, what am I? There's something else I wanted to ask you. So Bungie now is basically like a independent developer. Like they're probably one of the biggest, like, cause like they could probably fund their own Destiny at this point. And I asked you like what you wanted to see in D3 and Destiny 3. Do you think there'll ever be a chance that like you would be able to play that game on a super consistent basis and probably never drop it? Like you would be on it like how you would be on Sky. How me and you are always on Skyrim. Like there's always something that makes us go back to Skyrim. That urge, something like that. You think so?
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely believe it. Just because they have like, this is a different game. We've had many shooter games come out and try. We had I thought the game, what was the game? It's a free to play, Defiance. I thought Defiance would be, it turned out to not be bad actually, but it was missing some things. Maybe it was kind of the free to play, because even though you can't really knock a game for being free to play, when you hear that a game is free to play, you automatically kind of put it on a lower scale than most games, because you know it's going to come with its share of hiccups, its share of shortcomings, its shares of it's going to be a great value version of something named.
Yeah.
So Destiny, on the other hand, is not great value. This is actually something that's coming. It's got its own branding to it. It's already shown us what it can do. It's got millions of people playing it. It's got millions of followers. It's already there. It's already
Mm.
got that cult following. So, and honestly, I have Destiny 2 download. I don't even know how the hell I got Destiny 2 on my console. To be completely honest with you, I know I downloaded the first one for free.
I still
I
got
don't even know how the
Destiny
hell I got
2.
the second one.
I still got
Yeah,
Destiny 2. I'm showing it on screen right now. You know, the reason why I still have it is because the trade-in value on it is complete ass. Like, I think I was gonna get like $5. No, I was gonna get something less. I was gonna
Oh,
get at least like $2 for this mug or something. And the dude at GameStop was looking at me like, really? And I was just like, you know what? I'll find some use for it. I mean, it could be a coaster.
yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, you can sit a cup fit only for God
Yeah,
on the case. So I mean, not to mention, let's be real. Destiny's worth more than $2.50. I mean,
absolutely.
the game is still very much so intact. It's still playing along.
Hmm.
So it's not like it's that. It's just it had a bad role. And again,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just chalk it up to Activision. I feel like Bungie didn't have a whole lot to do with the way it turned out.
I mean, apparently when they found out that they're going to be disbanding, well, getting rid of Activision, apparently everybody in the office was cheering and Bungie. So like that should tell
Oh,
you something.
yeah. I mean, hell, if that's the case, shit.
Yeah, I
Activision must have really damn.
was tripping, and it's like, the media outlets, of course, are gonna be like, oh well, they're just happy that Destiny's all theirs. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean that's
Okay,
probably
just
true.
Destiny. Right.
Yeah, like that's probably true, but I'm
But
pretty sure it's like, oh my god, them. Bill walked in and told me to put more microtransactions in, and I thought the people was gonna kill me when I tried to do that. I thought our community was gonna try to kill me.
yeah, personally, yeah, I feel like they got a lot more than just Destiny because I'm not finna cheer over one game.
Yeah,
Okay, so they clearly got some freedom all the way around
yeah.
that was much needed and much approved, and it caused a lot of relief. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy for that
Mm-hmm.
because the more freedom, the more relief you have, the less stress. That means you think better, which means we get a better game. We
Right.
get better series of games. So I'm absolutely. This is why, and maybe that's why it's such a big deal because that is always a good thing. They needed that.
Mm-hmm. Um. Also, you got to think that like Halo was never truly theirs either. Like that was under Microsoft. So you could probably understand like, oh, like nah, Destiny is theirs. You know what I'm saying? So now like, hooray for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, so I guess I can understand that, but I think like you said, ultimately it's like finally, like Activision is like no more. They can't tell us like, hey, push this out, make sure you do this, and throw these microtransactions in there. This is the way we're gonna do it, so we can get the best out of Destiny. I actually read a stat that like the investors in Call of Duty are very upset with Activision on how Call of Duty has performed, and we talked about how Call of Duty made 500 million in 3 days. But apparently
That's
that wasn't good enough.
what?
Yeah.
Look, if 5 and 3 days ain't how much money did these people invest? Like they also had some major league competition this year in games like Fortnite, which I think that's for the first time in a long time. Call of Duty was actually falling behind too. They never fall behind to
Mm-hmm.
anything. So maybe that's why. Maybe because of that. But Call of Duty is still Call of Duty. Like nobody can. It's not going anywhere.
It
It's,
won't.
it's going to make that money back eventually. Maybe not as fast as the investors wanted it to,
Yeah.
but it's Call of Duty. It will make it back. It always does.
And it might be because, it's not growing. It's just kind of staying the same. Apparently Call of Duty has done more numbers than that, and it's not really increasing. You know what I'm saying? It's actually just staying the same or getting lower. You know what I'm saying? Every year
Huh.
it's not going above expectation. And it's hard because like there's a such thing as called like franchise fatigue, and people are just like, "Oh, just another Call of Duty game, okay." You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah. I
Red Dead
mean, it's
Redemption, we're going to get those every once in 15 years, 10 years, and that did 720 over 3 days, I think. Yeah, 720 million over 3 days. So like that game was always going to do well. So I think you know, Activision, they're gonna have to look at all that. But overall, Mac, yeah, I think me and you are right. I think Activision was the main cause of this. And hopefully we see a better Bungie. But ultimately, we're gonna know once Destiny 3 comes out, when this new Bungie game comes out, and see what can Bungie do by themselves. You know, as an independent company, a pretty large independent company in size. They're really huge, and they have a lot of talented people there. So, Mac, anything else on anything that we talked about? Anything about Assassin's Creed and making sure that we are straight people in the story mode?
That is beyond me. That one there is something else.
That is hilarious. Anything else on EA's canceling of the Star Wars game, of the EA Vancouver game?
Well, EA, man. I mean, what can you really say? EA, I don't know. I don't want to see them go down, but good Lord, like, I just hope they can get it together, man.
Yeah. There has to be something at some point that makes them go, oh my God, we need to start fixing shit because we're in trouble. There has to be something that happens.
Yeah, they're going to see it at this rate and pray to God it sells.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
damn. I think a lot of games to come are gonna take a major hit. Because Battlefield definitely did. Battlefield 5 definitely did. Any last thoughts on Activision and Bungie and Destiny?
All I got to say for Bungie is that I hope they don't drop the ball. They got $100 million figured out, and they got time in the world now. So I can't help but expect great things from them. I think the pressure's on them a little bit now that they are free.
Right.
But I feel like they'll deliver. So that's something for me to look forward to, and I'm much excited to do so.
That is a good thing to end out with, is the pressure's on for Bungie to make it look like Activision, it was your fault. It was your fault. So that is a good way to end it. I've been Curtis Russell on My Ninja Gaming. This is our midweek podcast. We don't know if we're going to continue. This is kind of just a pilot. Let us know in the comments if you guys are liking this. Just me and Matt going back and forth midweek, trying to get you through your work week. Matt,
yes, sir.
If it works out, if people want it, are you down to continue to do it?
Oh man, always. I'm always. Why not?
Yes, sir. All right, that's been My Ninja Gaming on this midweek podcast. I'm Curtis Russell, and of course, my man is
Sir Mackleton Fauntleroy the Third, Esquire, man.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace.
Peace out.